Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Talks with HK. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and doing great in your life. So, today's video is especially for class 11 students as today we are going to discuss the very first chapter of your business studies, that is nature and purpose of business. So, let's begin. Now, first, we have to understand what is commerce. Then, we will proceed towards business. So, what is commerce? Commerce is a branch of business. Commerce is a branch of business. Now, let us understand the commerce in earlier times and the commerce in modern times. And during this journey, what are the developments or what are the breakthrough that occurred in commerce? So now, in earlier times, commerce just simply refers to the exchange of goods and services or something of value. Earlier times में हम क्या define कर सकते हैं that commerce refers to the exchange of goods and services, and the very best example we can take it is barter system. Now, what is barter system? What is barter system? Barter system is the double coincidence of want. Means in barter system we have to see, or the main role is the double coincidence of want. That is, if one party is having rice and they want shoes, at the same time the other party is having shoes and they want rice, so both the parties can satisfy each other's want. This is known as double coincidence of want, or the barter system, or we can say the system of exchange of goods and services. But now barter system doesn't exist. Why? Because it has certain drawbacks. Barter system is having certain drawbacks. The major problem क्या थी भाई? Double coincidence of wants. Means it is not possible every time that the double coincidence of wants should there. Due to this was the major drawback. Now, up next is lack of common measure of value. भाई common measure of value नहीं है. You can exchange a horse in return of or in exchange of wheat. So there is no common measure of value, the second drawback. Now, up next is difficulty in storing value. We cannot store some goods as a value, like the perishable goods. We cannot store the perishable goods. We cannot store milk, we cannot store grains, we cannot store fruits, we cannot store vegetable. So there was difficulty in storing value also. So these are the three drawbacks, I must say, that due to which the barter system doesn't prevail. So let's move forward. Now, what is commerce in today's era? What is commerce? If we simply talk about in a layman's language, that buying and selling of goods and services is known as commerce. Buying and selling of goods and services is known as commerce. But in modern times, in today's era, commerce has a wider meaning. It has a wider meaning. It does not only include buying and selling of goods and services, but it also includes trades and auxiliaries to trades. Now, it also includes trades. So in trades we can say that traders at national level पे भी वो include करते हैं भाई, है ना. national level की बात करें तो कौन आ जाएगा? wholesalers and retailers. And if we talk about the traders at international level, so it is export and import. And it also includes auxiliaries or aids to trade, that is banking, insurance, transportation, etc. etc. So ये तो था भाई commerce in today's era. ठीक है, it has wider meaning. It does not only include buying and selling of services, it also includes trades and auxiliaries to trades. Now, let's move forward. What are the developments or what are the breakthrough in the commerce? The developments or the breakthrough in the commerce are number one, indigenous banking system. वही इंडिजीनियस बैंकिंग सिस्टम आ गया, राइज ऑफ इंटरमीडियरीज आ गए, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ने बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प करी है हमारी कॉमर्स की ग्रोथ में, ट्रेड की ग्रोथ में ट्रांसपोर्टेशन ने बहुत हेल्प करी है. नेक्स्ट इज ट्रेडिंग कम्युनिटीज. द लास्ट not the least is the trading communities. They also helped in the expansion of commerce. And next one is merchant corporations. So we will be discussing it in detail further. Up next is indigenous banking system. So now, what is indigenous banking system? Indigenous banking system क्या है? It is a system of banking only. देखो भाई, indigenous banking system को जो है वो बिल्कुल different नहीं है. It is similar to the banking system only, but it is a private firm. What is it? It is a private firm. Indigenous banking, or I must say indigenous banks, are private firms, but their work is same. They perform the same functions like providing loans and accepting the deposit of the people. I hope this much is clear. Indigenous banking system is clear to everyone, isn't it? So, moving forward is functions या roles of indigenous bank. भाई functions क्या वो play करते हैं? So, the very first is very simple. People can deposit money or valuables. They can deposit their money or their valuable things. Up next is supplier of money. That is, they provide loans, they provide credit so that the businessmen or the traders can improve or expand or grow their business. The next important thing is hundis and chittis. And hundis and chittis are what? Hundis and chittis are the documents used for buying and selling on credit. So I hope this much is clear to everyone. If any one of you is having any doubt, you can comment down in the comment section. I will be definitely clearing your doubts. So let's move forward. Now, what is the second point? Rise of intermediaries. Now, what are intermediaries? First, let us understand that intermediaries are the middlemen. Intermediaries क्या होते हैं भाई? Middlemen होते हैं. Intermediaries are the middlemen. अब middlemen है तो किस किस के बीच में होंगे? Between buyer and seller. So how we can say it? Intermediaries are the middlemen between buyer and seller, and the intermediaries play an important role in the promotion of trade also. Intermediaries also play an important role in the promotion of trade. भाई intermediaries I hope so clear हो गया होगा. Intermediaries क्या है? एक middleman है किसके बीच में? Between the buyer and the seller, and they are most important in promotion of the trade. So what intermediaries include? Intermediaries में क्या क्या आते हैं? कौन कौन आता है? Let us understand. Intermediaries includes commission agents, brokers and distributors. भाई अब ये सब क्या है? Commission agents, brokers, distributors, इनका क्या काम है, क्या वर्क है? Let us understand. So all these commission agents, brokers and distributors helps in the expanding of trade, helps in the expansion of trade, but in return they also demand for commission. ये तो वर्क हो गया भाई कमीशन एजेंट्स, ब्रोकर और डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स का. अब अगर बात करें इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ जगत सेठ, अब भाई जगत सेठ ने क्या किया? तो दे ऑल्सो प्लेड एन इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल ड्यूरिंग द मुगल पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. भाई इनका रोल कब इंपॉर्टेंट था? बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले किया है, लेकिन उन्होंने कब किया है? ड्यूरिंग द मुगल पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. अब ये क्या करते थे? दे चार्ज हाई रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑन फॉरेन ट्रेड. भाई ये हाई रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट चार्ज करते थे. ठीक है, बात समझ आ रही है यहाँ तक? ओके, आगे बढ़ते हैं. नेक्स्ट अप इज क्रेडिट ट्रांजैक्शंस और लोन्स. भाई इन तीनों का बेसिक सा काम सेम ही है, दैट दे प्रोवाइड क्रेडिट ट्रांजैक्शंस और दे प्रोवाइड लोन. ठीक है, अब providing credit transactions and providing loans also helps the businessman or a trader to expand their business, to grow their business, isn't it? आपके पास money होगा, आपके पास, then you can expand your business, you can grow your business, you can grow your trade, expand your trade. Up next is indigenous banks. अभी We all have already seen to it what is it. And the last one is commercial and industrial banks. Now, what is the role of commercial and industrial banks? They provide both the short term as well as the long term loans. What they provide? They provide short term as well as the long term loans to the traders so that they can expand their business. So भाई ये सब क्या है? ये help कर रहे हैं to expand the business, to expand the commerce, है ना? Now, up next is very simple, the simplest thing, transportation. This you all have know it very well, I must say. Transportation क्या है भाई? किसी भी सामान को, किसी भी चीज को एक प्लेस से दूसरी प्लेस लेके जाना इज ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, है ना? तो अगर हम डेफिनेशन देखें तो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन क्या है? इज द मूवमेंट. ट्रांसपोर्टेशन क्या है? इज द मूवमेंट किसका? ऑफ ह्यूमंस, एनिमल्स और गुड्स. किसी का भी हो सकता है भाई, ह्यूमन बींग्स का भी हो सकता है, एनिमल्स का भी हो सकता है, या गुड्स का भी हो सकता है. फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर. सो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन क्या हो गया? मूवमेंट ऑफ ह्यूमन बींग्स, एनिमल्स एंड गुड्स फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर is known as transportation. Basically, from ancient times, we are using two types of transportations, that is land transport and waterways transport. Very simple. Land transport क्या हो गया भाई? As land transport is in key role in the entire process of growth, है ना? entire growth के entire process में रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट हम कह सकते हैं. लैंड ट्रांसपोर्ट क्या है? एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है. व्हाई? बिकॉज इट इज सुटेबल फॉर देयर स्पीड and the safety, and it is most trustable also. Now let us talk about the water transport. So water transport plays an important role in the global trade. किसमें वो हेल्प करता है भाई? ग्लोबल ट्रेड में हेल्प करता है. ठीक है. Now let's move forward. I hope this much is clear to everyone. भाई अब बात आ गई, द लास्ट पॉइंट इज ट्रेडिंग कम्युनिटीज. लास्ट पॉइंट पे आ गए भाई हम, जो कॉमर्स के ब्रेक थ्रूज या कॉमर्स में हम डेवलपमेंट पढ़ रहे हैं इतनी कैसे हुई. लास्ट पॉइंट पे हम आ चुके हैं, दैट इज ट्रेडिंग कम्युनिटीज. देखो, डिफरेंट पार्ट ऑफ द कंट्रीज हैव डिफरेंट ट्रेडिंग कम्युनिटीज. डिफरेंट पार्ट ऑफ द कंट्रीज में डिफरेंट लोग जो है वो ट्रेड को हैंडल करते हैं. लेट अस टेक एग्जांपल. द वेरी फर्स्ट एग्जांपल इज इन वेस्टर्न इंडिया महाजन्स वर मैनेजिंग द ट्रेड. महाजन्स मैनेज करते थे. ठीक है. इन नॉर्दर्न रीजन पंजाबीज एंड मुल्तानीज मर्चेंट्स जो थे वो क्या करते थे? हैंडल करते थे बिजनेस को. सो these two are the examples of trading communities. Now let us understand what trading communities includes. क्या क्या include होता है trading communities में? That is merchant corporations, major trade centers and major export and import. क्या क्या चीजें include हो गई भाई? मर्चेंट कॉर्पोरेशंस. सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं मर्चेंट कॉर्पोरेशंस की. ये क्या है? मर्चेंट कॉर्पोरेशंस प्रोटेक्ट द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द ट्रेडर्स. ये क्या करते हैं? प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं. किसको प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं? ट्रेडर्स के इंटरेस्ट को प्रोटेक्ट करते हैं. दे फॉर्म देयर ओन रूल्स, देयर ओन रेगुलेशंस एंड द कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट आल्सो, so that they can protect the interest of the traders. Now up next is major trade centers. We are having the major trade centers. Let us have some examples. The very first example I would say is Varanasi. So in Varanasi was a major center as a textile industry, major center है, and it became famous for beautiful gold silk cloth and sandalwood. भाई अभी किसका है? किसके लिए फेमस है? गोल्ड सिल्क क्लॉथ के लिए एंड सैंडलवुड के लिए. ये हमारा हो गया वन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ मेजर ट्रेड सेंटर्स. नाउ ये हमारा हो गया one example of major trade centers. Now up next is Patliputra, and we also say it today Patna. अब क्या है? It was not only a commercial town. वो एक commercial town नहीं था, but it was also a major center for export of stones. वो एक major center भी था. किसके लिए? For export of stones. Now up next is major export and import. कि भाई मेजर एक्सपोर्ट और इंपोर्ट भी इसमें इंक्लूड होता है. अब एक्सपोर्ट और इंपोर्ट क्या है पहले तो ये देख लेते हैं. एक्सपोर्ट क्या है? हम कोई भी मटेरियल, कोई भी गुड्स, कोई भी सर्विसेज जो है किसी और कंट्री को प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं अक्रॉस द बाउंड्रीज, देन वी कॉल इट एज एक्सपोर्ट. एंड अगर हम कोई गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज किसी कंपनी से अपनी कंट्री में ले रहे हैं किसी से गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज किसी अदर कंट्री से, देन इट वी विल कॉल इट एज imports. So I hope this much is clear, the export and import. Now let us see the major export that includes the spices, wheat, sugar, etc. And if we talk about the major imports, then it includes gold, tin, copper, animal products, and etc. I hope this much is clear to everyone. Now, reindustrialization of India. अब reindustrialization क्यों करना है? What is the main reason? After independence, it was felt that the Indian economy should grow, should prosper. So it was decided to implement the first 5-year plan, and it was implemented in 1952. It was implemented in 1952. Why? The reason behind is that so that the Indian economy should grow, and they want to establish the modern technologies in India for its growth and development. But the development was not at its pace. Why? Because there was rise in population and lack of capital formation. So as a result, India relied on the borrowings from foreign sources. So by seeing all this, it was decided that we should implement liberalization, and liberalization was implemented in 1991. So after liberalization, the Indian economy is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Who made it possible? Only the liberalization. So this was it in the reindustrialization of India. Let's move forward. But before moving forward, I request you all to please listen this video very carefully, and if you want and if you need, you can prepare your notes so that it may be helpful for you in your exams. And the second thing, if you have any queries, any doubts, you can comment down in the comment section and I will be clearing your doubts. So, up next is business, its concept. So let us first understand what are human activities. What are human activities? The human activities are what? All the activities which are performed by the human beings are known as human activities. It is as simple as that. Okay. So we do our activities to earn money. First thing, and second thing, हम किस लिए activities करते हैं, किस लिए हम work करते हैं? For personal satisfaction. So on the basis of these two criterias, human activities are divided into two categories, that is economic activities and non-economic activities. Let's talk about economic activities. What are economic activities? So we can say that all the activities that is done to earn money is known as economic activities, or we can say the activities which are undertaken or performed by the people with the objective of earning money are known as economic activities. Is it clear? बहुत सिंपल है, आई होप सो आप सबको समझ में आ रहा है. Okay, now let us see examples. Example are teacher working at any school or at any educational institution, or second we can say that a doctor or a lawyer practicing in their fields. So now the economic activities are also categorized into three, that is business, profession, and employment. Let us understand it one by one. What is business? So business is what? Business refers to those economic activities which are connected with. अब भाई बिजनेस में हम क्या करते हैं? प्रोडक्शन करते हैं, परचेज करते हैं, सेल करते हैं या डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करते हैं. किसका करते हैं? गुड्स का या फिर सर्विसेज का. और व्हाई? व्हाट इज द रीजन बिहाइंड ऑफ डूइंग इट? फॉर द objective of earning profit. So, business can be defined as those economic activities which are connected with the production, purchase, sale, or distribution of goods or services with the main objective of earning profit. Getting my point? And if we talk about its example, then manufacturer manufacturing the goods, a farmer farming. So these are the examples of business. Now, let us talk about profession. What is profession? So profession refers to the activities which require special knowledge. प्रोफेशन में हमें क्या चाहिए होता है, कोई एक स्पेशल नॉलेज, एक स्पेशल सर्टिफिकेशन चाहिए होता है, देन ओनली वी कैन वर्क अंडर दैट प्रोफेशन. So we can define it as profession refers to the activities which require special knowledge and skills to be applied in his work. ठीक है, अब अप्लाई कहाँ करोगे स्किल्स जो और जो स्पेशल नॉलेज है अपने वर्क में, अपने काम में, इन हिज वर्क. किस लिए? टू अर्न अ लिविंग. ठीक, ये बात हो गई प्रोफेशन की. एग्जाम्पल्स हम देख सकते हैं, बहुत ही कॉमन एग्जाम्पल्स हैं. दैट अ डॉक्टर working as a professional in medical profession and is governed by Medical Council of India, isn't it? As next up is lawyers. Lawyers are governed by Bar Council of India. So these are the examples of profession. But you all must have heard the word professional. What is it? Professional means the people who are engaged in the professions. Professionals हम किसको कहेंगे? वो लोग, वो people जो किसी भी प्रोफेशन में एंगेज्ड हैं, that are known as professionals. Okay, now let's come up to employment. What is employment? Employment क्या है? If you are working under any person or under any company, then you are employed, isn't it? So employment refers to an activity in which an individual works regularly. The most important thing, the individual works regularly for another person and gets remuneration or salary in return. अब उसे in return क्या मिलता है भाई? Remuneration मिलती है या salary मिलती है. So here comes the two words, that is employer and employee. So employees are the one who are employed under the another person, who are doing the job and under the another person, that is employees. And who is employer? The employer is the person who gives the work to another person for regular basis, is known as employer. भाई जो काम देता है, जो ओनर है, हम उसे बोल सकते हैं employer, and जो काम उसके अंडर काम कर रहा है उसे हम क्या बोल सकते हैं? employee. Getting my point? Okay, let us see some examples. The examples are a person working in a shop, persons working in office, or salesman, etc., etc. I hope this much is clear to everyone. This is very simple. What is business, what is profession, and what is employment. In addition to it, if we talk about the qualification, so business doesn't need any qualification. If you are having right skills and if you are having the capital, you can start your business, isn't it? But for profession, it requires a prescribed certificate and the prescribed course of training. And if we talk about employment, then in this case the qualification depends on the nature of job. I hope this much is clear to everyone. Shall we move forward? Okay then. Now here comes non-economic activities. अब non-economic activities क्या है? Economic activities तो भाई वो activities हो गई जो हम मनी अर्न करने के लिए जो एक्टिविटीज परफॉर्म करते हैं. अब नॉन इकोनॉमिक क्या हो जाएंगी? दोज एक्टिविटीज विच आर परफॉर्म्ड फॉर द साइकोलॉजिकल सेटिस्फैक्शन. ऐसी एक्टिविटीज जिसे परफॉर्म करने के बाद हमें साइकोलॉजिकल सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलता है, उसे हम क्या बोल सकते हैं? नॉन इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज. और वी कैन से the activities which are undertaken by an individual with the motive of getting psychological satisfaction are known as non-economic activities. The examples we can see: doing charity work, going to temple, and doing social service. These all are examples of non-economic activities. But एक चीज है, what is here? The teacher is included in economic as well as non-economic activities, and many more, doctor also. ठीक है, ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो इकोनॉमिक और नॉन इकोनॉमिक बेसिकली दोनों में आते हैं. What is the reason behind? The reason behind is that if a teacher is teaching in any school or at any educational institution, then he or she is working there with the motive to earn money, and that comes under the category of economic activities. And but at the same time, if the same teacher is teaching to his or her own child, then it is the example of non-economic activities. I hope you all are getting it. Okay, let's move forward. Now, the meaning of business. What is business? Business is a wider term. I know that spelling of business is very small, but its meaning is very wide. It includes all the activities or the occupations done to earn income. Basically, it includes all the activities to earn income. And the main objective क्या है business का? Is to earn profit. Yes. And it includes the production, sale, purchase of goods and services for the satisfaction of consumer. The second important thing, the main objective is to earn profit, but we can say that the business also works for the satisfaction of their consumers. Okay, getting my point? Now, let's move forward. The proper definition of business. हमने बहुत देख लिया, मीनिंग समझ लिया, कॉन्सेप्ट समझ लिया, ह्यूमन एक्टिविटी समझ ली, बट what is the proper definition of business? It is here. So, we can say that business is some total of those processes which are engaged in the, किसमें engaged है? In the removal of hindrances, which are engaged in the removal of hindrances. अब hindrances क्या है? क्या क्या hindrances है? Hindrances of person, place, time and exchange. अब इन hindrances को solve कैसे करते हैं? It is solved by trade. Place, hindrances of place can be solved by transportation and insurance. Hindrance of time can be sought out by the warehousing, where we can store our goods, and the hindrance of exchange can be sorted out by the banking. So the definition is very simple, that business is sum total of those processes which are engaged in the removal of hindrances of person, that is trade, place, that is transport and insurance, and time, that is warehousing, in the exchange, that is banking, of commodities. So this definition is given by James Stephenson. I hope this is clear to everyone. I repeat, if you are having any doubt, you can comment down in the comment section. I will be clearing it out. So up next is business in modern times. In today's era, in modern times, what is business? What is the definition of business? Or we can say, what are the functions of business? So in modern times, business is an integral part of society. As we all know, business is an integral part of the society. We cannot just only say that the main motive of business is to earn profit or the exchange of goods and services. We cannot define business just only by two things, that is, objective is to earn profit, and second is for the exchange of goods and services. In modern times, business has a wider meaning. The business includes, now what business includes? The activities like creating customers. क्या है भाई सबसे मेन इंपॉर्टेंट काम है? you have to create the customers for your business. Up next is converting the economic resources into goods and services. You have created your customers, so you have to supply them goods and services. So for that, whatever wealth, money you are having, whatever economic resources you are having, you have to convert it into goods and services. Now, up next, now in today's era, in modern era, किसी को भी simple चीज बिल्कुल भी पसंद नहीं आती. So what we have to do, we have to do innovation in our product. So innovating new products or services, innovation करना है भाई. And the last is, after innovation, our product is ready. So we have to do marketing of our product so that it can reach to our customers. So, as you all have seen that in modern times, business has a wider meaning. First, we have to create our customers. Second, we have to convert economic resources into goods and services. Up next is we have to innovate. We have to do innovation in our new products and services. And the last one is we have to do marketing for our products so that it can reach to our consumers. And the consumers may get satisfaction. Getting my point? Are you able to understand? Okay, then let's move forward. Now, what are the characteristics of business? What are the characteristics? वे characteristics क्या हैं? So characteristics में हम वो सब points लिख सकते हैं जो अभी तक हम पढ़ते हुए आ रहे हैं. अभी तक जो भी हमने business के अंडर, business के head के अंदर जो भी हमने we have studied, all the points are included in characteristics. The very first is economic activity. Business is an economic activity. Why? Because business is done, or the main objective of business is to earn money, not the psychological satisfaction. Now, second one is sales or exchange of goods and services for satisfaction of human needs. Next point is sale and exchange of goods and services. Now, if you have produced your goods and services, then you have to sell it so that the goods can reach to the customers, isn't it? And after, for example, buying a goods to gift someone is not a business, but buying goods for resale is a business. Okay, what's next? Next is dealing in goods and services on regular basis. भाई हम डील कर रहे हैं goods and services में, लेकिन on regular basis we have to do it on regular basis. One time transaction or single transaction can never be considered a business. So this is another characteristic, that business is done on regular basis. Now up next is production or procurement of goods and services. So every entrepreneur produces his goods, and procurement means he can also take the goods or services from other producers and use it as raw material. So the production and procurement of goods and services, this is also an important characteristic of business. In addition to it, if we talk about the goods, then it is categorized into two types, that is consumer goods and industrial goods. Consumer goods are what? Consumer goods are finished goods which a consumer or the customers can consume, can use. But the industrial goods are those goods which are used as a raw material in the industries. Getting my point? Is it clear? Let's move forward. The next up is profit earning. As we all know, the main objective of business is to earn profit. As if a businessman earns profit, then he or she gets motivated, isn't it? And the most important thing, no business can survive without earning sufficient amount of profit. Now, up next is uncertainty of risk. As you all know, risk is always uncertain. And in case of business, the risk goes hand in hand. So that is why it is very famous. It is all often said that profit is a reward which the businessman gets in order to bearing risk. And the most important thing that I hope this is clear to everyone. Shall we move forward? Okay then. Now, the objectives of business. We have already studied that the main objective of business is to earn profit, but the business also have other objectives as business is an integral part of society. So it has different objectives also except earning profit. So these are categorized into three, that is economic objectives, social objectives and personal objectives. Let us talk about in detail. Let us see economic objectives. So economic objectives are basically categorized into three. First is survival, next is growth, and the other one is profit. So for survival, every businessman has to survive in this competitive market for a long period. For that, they have to cover their production cost plus they have to add some profit also. Okay, so the survival of business depends upon that whether the business is covering its production cost and earning profit or not. The next point is as simple, that is profit. It is the main objective of business to earn profit, as profit is very essential for survival, growth, and expansion of business. Are you all getting my point? And we can also say that profit is a reward given to the businessman for bearing risk. Up next is growth. Every business should expand and grow. The success of any business can be checked out by their growth rate. And growth can be measured in the terms of number of employees, number of branches, and so on. So, these were the economic objectives of business. I hope you all are getting my point. Let's move forward. Now, as business is an integral part of society, as business is running in a society, so the businessman has some objectives towards the society also. So, these are सप्लाई ऑफ डिजायर्ड क्वालिटी ऑफ प्रोडक्ट. भाई हमें कस्टमर्स को सेटिस्फाई करना है, सो वी हैव टू सप्लाई देम द डिजायर्ड क्वालिटी ऑफ प्रोडक्ट, isn't it? Up next is avoidance of unfair trade practice. What is avoidance of unfair trade practices? What are unfair trade practices? The cheating or the black marketing or adulteration, whatever the businessmen do, the wrong things, these are known as unfair trade practices. But the unfair trade practices are not acceptable in any society. So, if the business wants to grow, wants to expand, wants to earn profit, then they should avoid the unfair trade practices. As business is living in the society, so it has some objectives towards its environment also. That is avoidance of pollution. As we all know that industries leads to major pollution problems. So the businessmen must adopt environment friendly techniques of production and for the disposal of their waste material so that the environment may not get any harm. The up next is another objective, that is employment generation, the most important thing, as in as the unemployment is very common and a major problem of the society. So, the business provides employment opportunities and helps the people in overcoming their problems and helps them to earn their livelihood. And it is a responsibility of business to solve the problems of the society also. Now, what next? Up next is social service. Business has to do some social service also. That is running a charitable hospital, running a charitable school, or NGOs. And we can say, we can take the example of Tata Company. So, these were the social objectives of business. The business has to perform its social objectives also. Up next is personal objectives. The businessmen have some objectives towards their employees also. The very first is good working conditions. The businessmen should provide them good working conditions so that the employees can be productive in doing their work. Up next is competitive salary. They should give them a competitive and satisfactory salary so that the employees may get motivated. Up next is personal growth. Business should plan some training programs or other things for their employees so that they can be their personal growth and development should be there. Getting my point? Personal growth is very important for any person. So the business should also take care of that. Now, the next is very important point, peer recognition. Every person in the society wants recognition. So the business should keep in mind that there is peer recognition and respect amongst the employees, which encourage the employees to actively participate in the decision making. The last one is special benefits. So the business should provide their employees some special benefits such as housing facility, medical service, free education to their children, etc. So I hope all the three objectives are clear to everyone. बहुत ही इजी है एंड मैंने इन्हें बहुत इजी वे में आप लोगों को समझाने का ट्राई किया है. ओके, नाउ लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. रोल ऑफ प्रॉफिट इन बिजनेस. What is the role of profit in business? The very first is survival. The business or the businessman cannot survive without earning profit, as there is a very tough competition. So the business has to earn adequate amount of profit for their survival. Up next is expansion and growth. The business can expand and grow only when they earn a specific amount of profit. Up next is reward for bearing risk. As we already studied that profit is the reward of bearing risk. The profit is given as a reward to the businessman for bearing risk. So, if the profit, if the risk is high, then the profit is also high. And if the risk is low, then the profit is also low. So the profit and risk is directly related to each other. Now let's talk about index of performance. The profit indicate whether the business is going on right track, whether the management of business is efficient or not. If the profit is high, then we can say that there is efficient management, and if there is lower profits, then there is inefficient management. So profits acts as an index of performance, isn't it? Now the last one is helps to gain goodwill. Helps to gain goodwill. So if a company is earning profit, it's natural that their goodwill will increase, their reputation will increase, and at the same time the market price of the shares of that company will also increase due to profits. So I hope this much is clear to everyone. Now it's my humble request to all that please Listen this video very carefully, and if needed you all can create your notes which will be helpful in your exams. And second thing, if you all are having any query, any doubt, you can ask in the comment section and I will be trying to solve it out. So if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you feel like this content is really valuable or important, you can share it with your friends also. And for more updates and for more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you may be notified whenever I upload any video. That's all for today. Thank you so much. All of you stay safe, stay home, stay healthy, and stay happy. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.